Hey everybody. Today we're going to be doing a cosmic energetic reading for the sign of Virgo. So, please keep in mind that these readings are based off of whatever the universe wants to talk about. Note that all energies are contextual and fluid. So if something is vibing with you really hard, please take the time to identify and quantify what that may mean for you and discern that message for yourself. Okay? So, once again, just to reaffirm that this video is for the sign of Virgo. Yeah, baby, yeah. Okay, do you know, like, right now it's Virgo season? Uh-oh. Let's see what the overarching planetary energies have in store for the sign of Virgo. Let's check it out. Okay. Virgoian seal. Virgo. I'm gonna stand up. Come on. Get it. Okay. Virgo. Okay, Virgo, so you got like a big ass pile. Yeah, underlying. This is about the unconscious, which totally makes sense. It's a big ass pile. Like everything and its mom is over here. So let's articulate this pile. So at the bottom of this, we have I'll center this. We have Virgo. Intuitively you could be taking time to understand what this concept of this life debt could be. Simultaneously, you could be understanding what this life debt has to be, and it could be, oh, that's a different perspective. Hold up, Virgo. I think we'll look at it from this perspective. Overall, Virgo, you could be taking time to comprehend how you feel. And by taking time to comprehend how you feel, it could be revealing that you could be recognizing that you need to locate or identify what this form of stability is in the context of routine. Or you could be understanding this feeling of stability in the context of routine. Yeah, it could be feeling this form of stability in the context of routine, or understanding this routine in the context of stability, but also taking time to comprehend why this is part of your own life's debt, and understanding why this is inherently being communicated for you. And all this has to do with your unconscious. So it could be intuitively, Virgo, that you're getting all this stuff because it's in, or understanding all of this stuff in the context of a life's debt. Something to have and something to hold. Interesting. I mean, in the context of debt, it's more like something that was needed that you didn't realize is needed until now, or something, or this could be something in the context of something that you may have gone so long without noticing that it could have been towards your own detriment, which is inherently possible. I mean, this is something that you may intuitively be picking up. That being said, let's go ahead and understand the masculine components, or understanding the projection of this intuitive okay. Yeah, this I'm gonna be real with you, Virgo. This configuration of these energies is a little weird. Like, I mean, I understand this is the unconscious, but it's like a little bifurcated. Underlying energy is mature man. In this context, this has to do with the mature man can also be perceived as a hierophant energy, or this is more or less in the context of wisdom as and the stuff that you have learned or the stuff that you have overcome to this point. Okay, Virgo? So, that being said, so Virgo, at this point, how do you comprehend your physical feminine energies? How do you understand your feminine energies? How do you understand them? How do you understand that your feminine energies are growing? How do you understand the projection of your physical energies or your feminine energies and how they're growing for you? How, Virgo, how do you take the time to listen and comprehend what those feminine energies are for you? What is the process that you go about to hear your feminine energies? What is your framework of understanding your feminine energies? At the same time, Virgo, how do you understand this sudden wealth? In the instance that you do, how do you understand this wealth of energy? How do you understand this wealth, this currency, this I heard dilemma. It could be a form of magic if you want to perceive it that way, Virgo. That's inherently possible. Well, yeah, how do you take the time to understand your own magic if we're really going to put it that way? How do you comprehend this sudden wealth? How do you intuitively understand this wealth of your own subconscious? Food for thought. That being said, we're going to go ahead and break into identifying the details and seeing how your feminine energies or how your Empress energies may be articulating this towards you or for you. The pencil. It's 555 on the pencil, so you guys can see that. Like, yeah. Yeah, Virgo. Yeah, that's for you, baby. That being said, in the context of feminine energies, or the details of how this information may be correlated to you. And this seems to be pretty scattered, but that totally makes sense, Virgo, because this is you theoretically understanding this aspect of your unconscious. So, in the context of understanding how these concepts may be conveying to you, what is the feelings that this stuff is being written or expressed to you? What is the feelings of how this information is intuitively playing itself out for you, Virgo? How do you understand that these energies are dancing? How do you understand the dance of the feelings of this this intuitive masquerade? So these are on top of the piece of routine. Okay, in the context of a fortune, how do you see this information? How How do you see this information coming towards you? How do you see this information, or how is this concept, especially in the context of routine and how it feels, how do you see or how do you feel this information coming towards you? How do you feel this rush of information? And how do you articulate how that information is being conveyed towards you? How do you sustain that for yourself? Or what are the concepts that you use to sustain this divinatory information for yourself? I mean, if we're gonna contextualize it, classify it as a form of divination, what does that symbolism mean for you? In the context of sudden wealth, how does that play for you? Notice how this card turned. What is the playful nature of this sudden wealth? How do you understand this blessing? How do you see this blessing? That being said, I would like to give note to the additional card that's all the way over here. Let me fix this for you. How do you find this to be amazing? What is perceptually complexing about this amazement? We're gonna find out. Gonna break out into the overall energies or the overarching lessons that you could be understanding or understood, Virgo. These lessons feel kind of clunky. Well, it could be clunky if you're trying to figure out how to operate, right? That makes sense. Alright, Virgo, what do... Okay. Alright, that being said, 9 of Cups. I know, like, this is typically the construct of wish fulfillment, but this seems like emotional understanding, or not necessarily emotional understanding, but it's more like, I know, it's still wish fulfillment in the context of understanding the foundations. The context of understanding the foundations and how that's inherently linked to your highest self, and understanding how these things are emotionally conveying to you, which theoretically could be a form of wish fulfillment. I mean, this could be something you're foundationally starting to understand and comprehend how this feels. That being said, Virgo, where thought goes, energy flows. So in the context of, you know, the blessings behind, or understanding the concept of the blessing behind how this stuff is playing out for you, you could be having, you could have an experience. You could have an experience to a new doorway, or a new world of perception, for that matter, or a new world of communication, for that matter. And this could be something that you are experiencing or have experienced, and this is something that you've been thoroughly taking time to think about. At the same time, we have the Ten of Swords that's over here. So it could be that maybe while you could have possibly be having these experiences, and while having this experience, you could be aware of the things that you were experiencing, and maybe you were, you know, maybe it could be that you were cognizant of some of these experiences, and you could be nerfing this experience, because it could be the possibility of not wanting to, it's a possibility of not wanting to believe the projections that you, or the mental projections that you could be perceiving. Bueller? I mean, anything is possible. Anything is possible in this day and age. That being said, in the construct of your intuition and understanding this energetic construct as into why all this stuff is led up to what it is, or understanding why you, or possibly understanding why you're physically burying this, understanding it. It's kind of like things are like, in the context of this unconscious formation of layering, you could be physically understanding what's being communicated towards you from an unconscious perspective, and it could be something that you just can't ignore. I mean, like, if it's physically if your unconscious is physically communicating with you, I don't think that's something that you can really ignore, Virgo. Let's see, we have the Five of Swords and the Devil over the dancing. So it could be that energetically that or it could be you're getting you could have energetic awareness of this truth that's being portrayed, like these mental truths that are being portrayed to you, or it could be because you may be understanding the concept of how these your unconscious is playing out, or for you, that you could be getting communication of different I heard different trials, but you could be getting communications for different forms of thought, and this could help you understand or at least understand the passions behind these thoughts. This may also help you understand the feeling, like the source feelings behind these thoughts. That being said, we have a large pile over here. Can I bring you over here? It's pretty bright over here. We have a large, I don't know if it's large. It sounded large when it fell out, but all this stuff is over here between understanding how this stuff is masquerading for you, Virgo. Oh, it's only 3 cards. It's not too bad. So you have 3 of Coins, the Lovers, and Justice. So Virgo, you have a pile here where you are, when it comes to this concept of hearing out how this, or being receptive to how this stuff is playing out for you, it could be that you're in the process of becoming physically aware of how these energies are unionizing within you, and you're taking time to discern this communication. Something about orchids. That being said, you taking time to understand your own discernment will help you comprehend the projection of these energies, which is something that you are physically working on. Okay, Virgo? Overall, Virgo, when it comes to, I know I keep moving the camera. Like, overall, Virgo, when it comes to this reading, like, when it comes to this reading, it's like there's a heavy understanding of how this stuff is intuitively playing out for you. I mean, if we really want to look at it this way, you could say that the energies are relatively connected, but I would like to make a footnote to be mindful of how layered your intuition is, because it could be Leo. What about Leo? Random footnote, Virgo, maybe take a moment to check out the Leo video real quick. But it could be that right now, like, it could be that because unconscious energies are so layered, that it could be that you're focused on how unconsciously stuff feels, but there could be a strong reason to pay attention to or maybe take a moment to understand, why is everything so packaged? Why is everything so layered? Why is it so layered? And it could be that when it comes to this communication for you, Virgo, that this could be something that's been conveyed to you for so long, and it could be that this assistance was supposed to be here to help you for so long that maybe you just have to, or it could be helpful or definitive. Why am I getting definitive? Definitive for you to take the time to debunk debunk and actually understand, like, all of this stuff from a core perspective. Because one thing I do know, like, when you take the time to understand the lessons behind why this is unconsciously formulating for you, or actually take the time to understand or possibly comprehend what's the link between this childlike nature, and how does this link together with how this information is intuitively coming in for you. This may help give more insight for that, because for some reason it's just really unusual how that energy is very layered. I mean, you know, I digress. Like, ogres have layers, so maybe that totally makes sense. Virgo, it could be, that totally makes sense. Virgo, you know, I can't classify this for all of Virgos, but I do know most Virgos, or the Virgos that I know and I hang with, like, they got layers. So that could totally explain why energetically this is this way. I mean, it's not bad, but I guess, long story short, I'm trying to convey to you, Virgo, is you may have to take time to evaluate this from, like, a layered perspective. So it's like evaluating all this based off of understanding how you feel. How does that relate to your stability? What does that correlate to your own routine, or your own form of sustainability for this stability? How come this is related to a life's debt? And why is that communicated in the construct of life's debt? Life's depths? Depths? Take that as you will. Alright, Virgo, I hope that this reading was helpful for you. Please remember to take the time to evaluate what resonated with you and discern this information for yourself. Have a wonderful day.